Okay, so Eric, we're in a difficult economy, we're in a difficult climate.
Right.
What do you think the ICA is doing to help car wash operators attract consumers?
Yeah, because we can't yet control water or
Right.
control weather, right? So we can't stop it from raining or cloudy skies.
Right,
but we
or
can-
the
we can-
economy.
That's right, but we can. There are some things we can do in terms of educating consumers. One piece is we already know there's some trends moving positively in the benefit of professional car washing, right? So we've been doing consumer studies since 1994.
Okay.
We have seen that go from 35% of people in 2008 only being home car washers. That number was closer to 50% in 1994. So we see the movement very positive toward, yeah, I want to go to a professional car wash.
Right.
Number two, what we're really seeing happening in the last couple of years in particular is even municipalities and water regulators are saying, we're going to advocate on behalf of the industry.
Okay.
We're seeing Department of Environmental Protection sending out mailers to homes. We're seeing advertising done by governmental groups to say, don't let runoff go into the storm sewer.
Right.
And the third piece of that we've begun that we're very excited about is this Water Savers program. So we've got more than 900 locations. Every once in a while I get the question, I know you've had this, why doesn't the association do a Got Milk-like campaign?
Right.
And economically that's very difficult to do and even more difficult to sustain.
What do you think it would cost on an annual level to do something nationally?
Yeah, well the problem is too, 1 year won't make a difference.
Right.
So you're probably talking about a campaign of tens of millions of dollars literally over time to impact the needle on consumer understanding and uptake. Right. But I will say this, so what did we do? We said to ourselves, well, what do we have we could leverage? Well, we've got thousands of car wash locations on nice streets with traffic going by and car counts. Let's find a way to get a consistent message, a professional looking signage, marketing, et cetera, in the hands of operators that they can then put on their curb, put in their lobbies, put in their customer queuing lanes that gives them the good word of professional car washing. So
Right.
it's both your current customers, but then those driving by, and if it's a water regulator, even better, that they're going to see we release to sanitary sewer or leach field if you're in a rural area perhaps, but we're recycling water, reusing water, et cetera. So
Right.
those 900 locations now, that's our mini Got Milk. That's a
Right.
way to get the word out to the
So
consumer.
now we have these 900 car washers. We look in advertising in general, and there's a lot of green messaging out
Right.
there. What do we do to take it to the next level, to authenticate that this isn't a poster? Car washing is legitimately and authentically green.
Yeah, and now you're going into information, another
Right.
area of work for the industry, right? I mean, it's unfortunate we can't answer the question, how many car washes are there in the US?
Right.
We just don't know. Water Savers was intentionally designed to be a broad net, right? So we could get the most number of people involved. Now through that program, we're gathering data.
Right.
So we're looking at things like water usage and what actual type of equipment and processes are you employing and what is that difference making. So we can take that over time, we'll take that data, use also our consumer studies, use also, we've done environmental effluent studies,
Right.
et cetera. And now we're going to have a body of work and information we can bring to groups. For an example, this summer we're doing a presentation at the American Water Works Association convention in Chicago. So all the regulators, we're going to bring the good news of Water Savers. But the more data and information we can bring, the better to impact their behavior and understanding as well.
Right. As always, we'd like to see more people, more car wash operators that typically don't come to the Car Care World Expo come. Mm-hmm. Is there anything that we can do to get more people, the ones that haven't traditionally come to Car Care World Expo, to leave town, come learn some new things, look at the exhibitors?
Yeah, well, we look at two things. One is I'd love to have always more people, right? And so if you're considering coming, you're always welcome. The other piece though, we look at the number of organizations that are here. And that number, even though our total number in the last couple of years in particular hasn't been setting records, admittedly, and we're not happy about that, but we're working toward it. The number that has been rising is organizations represented, so the number of car wash companies here. And so I think that's representative of what's happening in the industry to some degree with consolidation or operators who had one now have three. And also in this economy, I think that it's challenging to say I'm going to take my 3 or 4 or 5th person with me and take them away from the operations for 2 or 3 days and come to a trade show.
Right.
So in recognition of that, we've designed some education around deliverables they can bring back and share with their people. We're trying to do more via virtual and online.
Right.
But in these times, it's hard to get multiple folks away from one car wash.
Right.
We know that.
Right. You look around at this year's 2010 Car Care World Expo, and what do you see? What's different about this year than you've seen in the past?
Yeah, I think first is mood. I sense, we're not maybe where we were 5 years ago with, that everything's rip-roaring, but I think the fear of last year has dissipated largely. From the operator perspective, it was good for them that we had a show floor bigger than last year, and not many people perhaps would have made that bet a year ago that the show floor would grow. And from an operator perspective too, I think they're seeing new machines on the floor, they're seeing new technology, and at least I didn't hear that vibe of innovation last year. So I think that's really good for them to see.
Right. All right, last one. What do you see the car wash industry looking like 10 years from now? What will be different about it?
Well, hopefully it's more customers, number one. I think these macro trends we've talked about, environmental and also demographic. As a society, we're getting a little bit older, right? And we know that those trends typically support professional car washing too. So I think that's one piece of it. Number two, I'd imagine the profile of the typical owner-operator will be more locations. And with that comes all kinds of implications for process and technology and product. So things like this week, you and I were talking about seeing lots of remote monitoring and systems and reporting functionality and technology. I think that'll become more important over time as we have operators managing multiple sites across multiple areas.